Okay, so it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here on the east coast of these United States of America. I'm taking a look at shares of Bitfarms, which this morning I was thinking, you know what? Maybe the stock's gonna really kind of catch a bit of a rocket ride to maybe $5 again. Maybe we're gonna start seeing a bit of positive momentum build back into the stock. Hey, we closed up for the day, but nevertheless, far below the morning high of around like $4 and roughly 54 cents or so. All of that movement was evidently driven by these, again, these blockbuster announcements that are coming out of Cypher. Iron, I think a week or two ago, it was Applied Digital. I mean, it seems like everybody is getting these huge, like multi-billion dollar contracts. I mean, even TeraWulf, I think, struck a really great deal recently. So the question then becomes, okay, hey, if we're speculators here a bit, right? And I mean, yeah, a lot of us are long-term holders, but I'm just saying, hey, if we're speculating a bit, you may have the stock really kind of take off, right? If in fact Bitfarms is going to be next in line to announce a huge deal. Let's take a really quick look here, because I don't like doing homework while I'm having a conversation with you, but I think it's nevertheless relevant and important to take a look after the market closes sometimes, just to see if any news release would have dropped, and it does not appear as if though any did. The most recent one is from October 30th, announcing, of course, the third quarter, investor presentation on November 13th. And I don't really see anything as of yet related to any sort of announcement of a deal. Now, I acknowledge that, hey, a lot of the deals we're reading about are for hundreds of megawatts. And I mean, these really huge deals. And I mean, Panther Creek perhaps could be in that league, right? If you had a scenario where we could wave a magic wand and the data center is built and it's just ready for tenants. Or alternatively, if we could have a scenario where a company says, you know what, we like these artistic renderings and we believe that this is going to be a really good site for us. We want to be the anchor tenant. We want to gobble up all of the megawatts. And we're willing to go ahead and put down a down payment, and we can structure a deal so that there's like milestone payments. So yeah, that can happen. Moses Lake, right? Hey, we all know that Moses Lake has a lot of potential. And, hey, 18 megawatts is like a lot of electricity. That's, you could have a very, by any normal standard, hey, that's a pretty big facility. By the standards of HPC AI, for better or for worse, that's kind of considered a pilot project, maybe a proof of concept. Hey, maybe for a neocloud, that can be an interesting location to perhaps have one of their facilities. Would that translate into a $15 billion deal? I don't think so. But nevertheless, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, even just one major customer saying, hey, you know what? We like what Bitfarms is doing. We want a piece of what they've got or what they will have in the future. I think that by itself validates Bitfarms in a way that being able to, raise $300 million from Maguire Group, couldn't do. Being able to raise $500+ million from the capital markets through, a convertible note, again, that's great. The Maguire money, amazing. Neither one of those things will validate Bitfarms the way a deal being announced with some hyperscaler, some huge neocloud, some massive enterprise customer, right? That is the validation that's needed next. And I think the reason the stock went up the way that it did this morning is because everybody is starting to anticipate, rightly or wrongly, that Bitfarms is going to imminently make an announcement that they have a customer. Now, if there is no customer to be announced between now and November 13th, would you agree with me that we're going to really have to hear Mr. Ben Gagnon, right, CEO of Bitfarms, really articulate clearly what the plan will be and the general timeline, what that will be for there to be a customer acquisition. Now, obviously, right, Bitfarms can't guarantee that they're going to find a customer, right? But if we hear something to the effect of, yes, hey, I'm spending half my day now as CEO on the phone, actually, making sales presentations essentially to potential customers, or I've got people on the team that are doing that, and we're traveling, we're meeting with people, and like this is a big part of our day-to-day life now. Hey, that I think can give everyone a sense that, okay, you know what? We're shifting a bit here from raising capital to attempting to raise a customer, so to speak, right? Because I sense that there are a lot of people out there that really don't. It's hard to put in the words. Well, wait a minute, but if all these other companies are getting customers, why can't Bitfarms get a customer? Yeah, I mean, I get it. We don't have a data center yet, right? We don't have. There's Bitcoin data centers, but there's no HPC AI data center. I get that. I think we all get that. But hey, if the demand is so overwhelming, if the demand is so real, which I think it is, right? Why has there not yet been a company that's willing to say, we believe in what Bitfarms is doing. We believe this that this data center, be it at Panther Creek or hey, maybe Moses Lake, right? Hey, we believe in these sites so much so that we are willing to put some money into a contract to get the ball rolling. We understand it's not going to be energized or built for a little bit yet, but we want to be first in line without question to be able to have access to these data centers that will then be energized. See what I mean? What would prevent that from happening? And unless someone, maybe you, someone at Bitfarms, can give me a sort of a rational reason for why that can't happen, I think I'm going to kind of end up falling slightly into the camp that's like, hey, what's going on? We want to prioritize getting a customer. Moses Lake is particularly interesting because even at the most, I think it's 18 megawatts or so. Hey, that's a lot, but I'm just saying, even if you have a deal with a Neo Cloud, hey, anything at all that's going to validate the fact that Bitfarms is now not just in the business of creating beautiful artistic sketches and not just in the business of borrowing a bunch of money, but is now in the business of booking customers, right? And actually banking business. And I think that's the part that many of us, day by day by day, we're starting to fall more and more into that camp, right? I think there was a period of time where sure, hey, you could say, you know what, yeah, you got to raise a bunch of capital. Hey, we got to, come up with the nice artistic renderings. We need to have a master site plan. We need to get ourselves organized as to what we're even doing as it relates to this pivot. And I've been in that camp myself, right? Really, because hey, things take time. But when you see so many deals being announced, it's very, very hard to remain patient, right? And not ask yourself, well, can't we be patient while at the same time potentially getting a customer who's willing to be patient with us and willing to be first in line to have access to the data center space and to the energy that it has once it is fully built. Okay, my friend, I'm going to leave you with that. If you are new to this broadcast, new to this channel, please consider subscribing. For those of you who have been around a while and you haven't subscribed just yet, consider doing so. It's a small channel. I don't really focus on subscribers. However, I do think we collectively have built something of a magnifying glass that whenever light passes through it, we can kind of focus that magnifying glass and the beam of light that it generates in a very, very focused way that I've noticed seems to be very useful when it comes to advancing our collective interests as it relates to Bitfarms and other things that we talk about. So please consider subscribing if you enjoyed these broadcasts. I certainly do appreciate it. Okay, my friend, let's stay positive. Let's be great. We're going to definitely be speaking a bit more often now because on November 13th, Bitfarms is going to have their investor presentation, and I'm looking forward to it. And you never know, there could be an announcement of some kind between now and then that can really be a bit of a game changer here. So, okay, talk to you soon.